Viewers and subscribers, greetings, love and respect. From the volume of my voice, you must know, as you see on screen, yes, the arrival of the Jamaicans aboard the Adventure of the Sea cruise are finally here. People, who could it be but Father God? Trust me, continue prayers work. Viewers and subscribers, remember, like the video, share the video. We also have breaking updates on the baby mother aboard the ship. People, we have a lot coming up. As you see, the length of the video is like a short film, trust me. Anika Bartley, thanks for the footage. Whole heap of respect, whole heap of appreciation. Viewers, tell me all you think in the comment area below. We have a lot to go through today. Put on the seatbelt. Have a great day. Listen and watch.
We have a medical emergency on board. So either they're going to use helicopter and take off the person, or we're going to proceed to Jamaica. But there's a serious medical issue on board.
Sir, I'm pleading to you all that I am pregnant, and what happened to Miss Farron, I don't want it to happen to me. Honestly, it's heartbreaking. I need to go home. I need to get medical care.
A woman who said she is pregnant is among the more than 1,000 Jamaican crew members on board Royal Caribbean Cruise Line's Adventure of the Seas, pleading with the Jamaican government to accept them into the country once their 14-day quarantine ends on Saturday. The crew members are expected to arrive in Jamaican waters near Falmouth today, where they will remain in quarantine until May 23rd. Their latest quarantine period began on board the ship on May 9. As part of the supposed deal between the cruise and the local authorities, something the Jamaican government has denied knowledge of. This is a voice to the Jamaican government. I'm 4 months pregnant on the Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas, and we're on our way home. Now we're getting from the captain that we haven't gotten any confirmation from the government. However, sir, I am appealing to you. I am pregnant, and what happened to Miss Jody and Farron, I don't want it to happen to me. Honestly, it's heartbreaking. I need to go home. I need medical care. The woman who requested anonymity said. Farron, a 23-year-old first-time mother, died last month after being denied access to the health care at several of the country's hospitals. The cruise ship worker said that she was unaware that she was pregnant when she signed a 7-month contract with the cruise line in December. Said the situation on board the ship has become unbearable for her. I'm not trying to complain, but it is difficult. I want to come home. We can't be locked in here like this. This is not good for me in my situation now. I mean, the food is not enough for my body and the baby. I don't mean the quantity. I'm talking about the nutrients that I'm supposed to be getting. The company is trying, but I need to go to the doctor. You understand? Said the expectant mother who last visited the doctor in early March when the ship made port. To be honest with you, I'm terrifying. I'm feeling so much discomfort. Sometimes I have to lie on the floor. We've been locked away. We can't go out. We can't do anything. I'm just asking that Jamaica, please let us in when we come, please. I'm sure our company is not lying to us. They are reaching out. They are reaching out, but they can only do so much. Declaring that it has done its part, Royal Caribbean Cruise Line told the 1,044 Jamaican crew members that it is now up to the Jamaican government to do the rest in ensuring that they make it into the country. Audio obtained said that to be of the ship's captain has suggested that the company has been in contact with the Jamaican authorities, but that a definitive answer as to whether or not the Jamaicans will be allowed to disembark has not been given. We are now setting course towards Falmouth. We have not received any confirmation from the Jamaican authority, but we are on our way there regardless. Now I must say, everyone has done their part in this case. Our target was the 18th, however, the company has provided the ship for the Dominicans to return home. The Dominican authorities did their part and allowed them to come back home, the man in the recording said. His announcement followed the repatriation of Haitian crew members, whose government also played its part, he said. The next topic is, of course, your situation, and once again the company has done their part with the ship. You have done your part, Lord knows. You have been in isolation for a month, most of you, and now we expect the Jamaican authorities to do their part. The company is putting as much pressure as it can on the authorities to allow you to disembark, but the decision is still to come from the authorities, the man said, adding that he is hoping for the quickest solution to the problem. He also told crew members that the ship will remain on site until March 23rd, when they should be disembarking. Several of them who were transferred from the Royal Caribbean vessels have been in quarantine for several weeks. But yesterday, the Health and Wellness Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, said his ministry has no knowledge of the ship coming into harbor, and neither do we have any information or any knowledge of any arrangement for a specific date for this action to be taken. He said the ministry has been actively participating in negotiations that have been underway for the repatriation of Jamaican crew members, and the consultations are being held to determine the safest method for this to be done. Given the state and nature of the discussions, there was no reason to believe that a ship could be on its way to Jamaica without the knowledge and consent of the government of Jamaica, he said. In a letter dated May 1, 2020, which was posted by Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith on social media, Royal Caribbean said that it was in discussions with the Jamaican government to repatriate crew via ship. It said the required quarantine period would take place on board the ship. However, in a recent interview with Radio Jamaica, Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang denied the knowledge of the ship's arrival. He said unless ships receive clearance from the respective government agency in charge of the country's seaport, none can dock. Additionally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has said that while the government has gone above and beyond to facilitate the return of Jamaicans, these efforts have stretched the capacity of the country's public health system and frontline workers. He said too that quarantine facilities have reached capacity and that the government cannot continue to overextend, as this is likely to increase nationals' risk of contracting the dreaded COVID-19. Holness said that the government cannot facilitate the repatriation of Jamaicans before next week, but will in the meantime explore ways to increase quarantine and logistics capacity. Yesterday, Jennifer Housen, the attorney representing 55 of the crew members, said the government's lack of information regarding their circumstances has resulted in them being anxious, worried, and distressed. She also asked the government to confirm whether or not her clients will be allowed to disembark the ship on May 23rd, and if the period served in quarantine aboard the ship will be taken into account in allowing them to go home to their families on arrival.
Just let this sink in. Just look at that. Let it sink in. Just let this sink in. We are home. We are home. Finally, we are home. Can you see that? Oh, these two young people have been proudly waving the Jamaican flag and they've walked from the side of the Falmouth Cruise Fair, closer to the Rock Bridge, and they've made their way around to Gate 1, proudly displaying and sharing the joy of all the other Jamaican citizens that have gathered here. The return of 1,044 for brothers and sisters aboard the Adventures of the Seas. Want more stuff? That's right. So for those of you who are just joining the live feed, we've been here. Our first live this morning was done at just around 10:40 there around this morning when we stood outside the gates of the historic Falmouth Cruise Pier awaiting the arrival of the Adventures of the Seas, which has now carried, it has now safely docked 1,044 for Jamaican citizens on the north berth of the Falmouth Cruise Pier, the historic Falmouth Cruise Pier. They're here after spending some of them over 8 weeks on the high seas in isolation. They're here after many sleepless nights. They're here after being brave enough to stay in the middle of the Caribbean Sea to send their pleas and their cries on land for the world to hear. And finally, we say thanks to every one of them that were brave enough, found the strength and the will to send their pleas on land for the world to hear, so we can all join today in rejoicing, because finally 1,044 of our citizens are home. And while they come home and some of them are on deck, some of them are looking out, we want to make the same plea to the powers that be to remember the 500 plus that are currently on Carnival Glory, the 200 plus who are currently on that Disney cruise ship as well, and all the other Jamaicans who are stuck at sea or on land in foreign countries that are wishing to come home. We ask that you find it within yourself. While thinking about all other citizens, you find it within yourself to see to them being safely brought home as well. Again, to my fellow brothers and sisters, friends, family members who have stayed on land not knowing what next, I'm happy to say your friends and family members, they're home. They're here in the North Berth on the historic Falmouth Cruise Pier. Finally, they are home. Welcome home, guys. Welcome home. Welcome home. I can see one of them waving to us. Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Ah, we're happy you're here. Welcome. Welcome home. Comrade Walton Small, we welcome you to this live. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining. To every one of you, 572 of you that are watching our live, I am standing right outside the historic Falmouth Cruise Pier. I have been here since just around 10:30 this morning. And I have witnessed the historic occasion of the adventures of the seas being pulled into dock on a service, pulled into dock at the historic Falmouth Cruise Pier with 1,044 Jamaican citizens aboard. It has been a long and arduous call. It has been a long and arduous fight. It has been numerous sleepless nights. After denial, after torture, after emotional distress, finally, our citizens of Jamaica have prevailed, and 1,044 of them are now waiting anxiously to set their foot on Jamaican soil. They are home. They won today. And we say, welcome to the land of your birth. welcome from Scotland. Welcome from Scotland. Welcome aboard the home base. This is the home base for 1,044 Jamaican citizens that have finally docked at the historic Falmouth Cruise Fair. And it is indeed a celebration. It is a celebration here. It is a celebration here. Today, out of many, we are one Jamaica. Today, we are one Jamaica. Welcome home, guys. Welcome home. Here on land. They too are happy that they're home. Finally, they can see us here as we stand in solidarity with 1,044 of them who are aboard the Adventures of the Seas, waiting on parents for them to start disembarking in groups of 200. They're home. Welcome home. That is right, Maxine Gordon. Thank God they are home. And I see Maxine Gordon saying to Linville Fern that you're home. Welcome home, Linville. Welcome home. Happy that you're back on the land of your birth. You're home. I just want to say to those aboard the Adventures of the Seas, I have seen a few of you who have been able to come out on deck. You're looking at us on land. Some have been signaling to us. They've been waving to us just to let us know that they appreciate the fact that we're here with them, rejoicing with them, happy that they are home. And so I just want to take the opportunity, if there's any one of you on board that's currently watching this live video and you'd like to share in the live, just send a request to me. Just indicate to me that you're on board, you'd like to share in the live. Send that request and I'll do my best to have you join the live so you too can share your voice, your thoughts of finally being able to say, yes, I am home. We are happy you're here, we're overjoyed, and I'm sure your family members are bursting out of their seams with joy. I watched the press conference and I listened in anguish as I heard a mother plea for a child to be home. And I can just imagine the immense joy that mothers, fathers, children, that 4-year-old that they spoke about, or even that 10-year-old son of that mother who is now home aboard the Adventures of the Seas. I can only but imagine the joy they are now feeling. Welcome home, family. Welcome home. We are happy you're here. We are happy you are here.
Welcome home. We are happy you're here. Welcome home. Thank you.
Welcome home, my dear. Welcome home. Well, Denise Frost, I hope that this is the beginning of a new level of hope for you guys, that persons like yourself will have your day where you too can say, I'm happy I am now home. Welcome home, guys. You've cleared the way. You've cleared the way for the remaining brothers and sisters we have on the seas and on land in foreign countries to come home. Welcome home. Nicole, good girl Turner, you're welcome. You are welcome. So Audley Simmons would like to say big up to Carl, DJ, Mr. James, Lion, aka Renford, and all the rest of the crew members. You're Audley. Yours truly, Audley, aka Crime. So that's coming from Audley. Again, big up Carl, DJ, Mr. James, Lion, aka Renford, coming from Audley. Welcome home, guys. Michelle Carter, yes, your cousin is finally here. Welcome home. Denise Ogilvy, it's been our absolute honor to share in this moment with you and all the others. Welcome home. Welcome home. So, Bubblicious Serene, you've asked to see the welcome party. This is just a part of it. Many have come and gone already. We can see others passing by. So, here we go. We have citizens lining the streets right across the front of the Falmouth Cruise Pier, all in celebration of our citizens being brought home. Rasheen Higgins, glory be to God, they are home as well. Welcome home. That's exactly the feeling, Candice. You don't need to have a family member on board. We are all brothers and sisters in this land we call Jamaica. So we're just happy for fellow Jamaicans that they can be brought home. That's right, Paulette, they're home. Paulette Graham, they're home. Welcome home. Ravina James, I understand you are aboard the Adventure of the Seas. If you're watching, if you're hearing this, welcome home. Welcome home. Nishali Freshers Palmer is happy that you are finally here. Welcome home, Ravina James. Zidane Morris, Marlon, here on board. Welcome home. Welcome home. Mobilicious Serene. Mobilicious Serene. It's hot, it's sunny, it's scorching out here in Falmouth, but the heat is nothing to deter us from celebrating with the 1,044 of our fellow citizens who are on board the Adventures of the Seas. So, some persons have just realized that Comrade Wickham McNeil, along with Comrade Fitz Jackson, are here. They earlier, as I mentioned, went on port along with the Member of Parliament for Northern Trelawney. They had gone on port to greet our citizens. So some of them have finally gotten the news that Wickham McNeil and Fitz Jackson are here, so they have now gone around to gate 5 to meet them. But I'm still standing here, still standing outside, just in between gate 3 and 4. Well, actually, I think it's between gate 1 and 2 that I am right now. Yes, I'm between gate 1 and 2. Just waiting here, patiently standing here, looking on the adventures of the seas. It seems as if it's just arm's length away, an arm's length away from shaking the hand of a fellow citizen, arm's length away from seeing friends and loved ones on land. We are happy, very happy that they're here. Kai Stone, we've already surpassed 1,000 views. Soon come. We'll be back there. We have surpassed 1,000 views already. Welcome to everyone who has joined in this live feed. Mary Holland, it's been my absolute pleasure. I am only but another citizen doing what's right for 1,044 of my fellow brothers and sisters. Carita, I agree with you. I want to see them too. But we understand that it does take a process, and we are here just waiting patiently. Patiently waiting. Yeah. Samara Chin Williams, I agree with you. This certainly isn't about politics. This is about people. It's about citizens. It's about 1,044 of our citizens who were stuck on the adventures of the seas and the high seas of the Caribbean Sea, just drifting, who have finally made it home to Jamaica land we love. There will be a time when we'll revisit this and we'll dissect it to see what went wrong, what went well, and what we can do better for those as a lesson in history. But right now it's about 1,044 of those who have finally docked at the historic Falmouth Cruise Fair. J. Ross, thank you for keeping the faith. Welcome home, my dear. Welcome home. Anne-Marie Platt, and for all the others who are just joining the live video without being aware of what this is about, it is the story of the Adventures of the Seas. I like to refer to it as Adventures of the Seas homestretch. And what we can say is that finally 1,044 of our Jamaican citizens have hit the home base and they're home safely after being stuck at sea for over 8 weeks, some of them, in isolation, not being sure where next they will go. Finally, they've made it home after many cries and appeals being made to the government. They got the clearance yesterday that they'll be able to dock at the historic Falmouth Cruise Pier. The nation was informed that they would have been here at 12 noon. And right on time, they pulled in to the north berth at the historic Falmouth Cruise Pier, and they are here. And so as citizens of Jamaica, we join in rejoicing with them that finally they are on their homeland. Clive Palmer, welcome home, courtesy of Nadine Glaive. Welcome home, sir. You are most welcome, Stacey and Bailey Grant. Happy that we could have provided assistance. So we can see members of the Ministry of Health here, and we suppose that they too would be making their way onto the Falmouth Cruise Pier. Certainly has been a long time coming. Certainly our citizens have endured a lot, but thankfully they are home. So again, just to inform you all of the arrangements that has been brokered for the return of our 1,044 Jamaican citizens, understanding that we are all faced by a global health pandemic. The arrangements and the agreement is that they have now pulled into dock at the historic Falmouth Cruise Pier. They will disembark the vessel in groups of 200 within a 48 to 72 hour time frame. They will undergo routine testing on site, as far as I understand. So they'll undergo testing for the novel coronavirus, popularly known as COVID-19. They will be they'll be hosted at the Grand Bahia Principe during the time that their test results are being produced. Now, once the test results are ready, for every member of the 1,044 crew members that have returned home today, for everyone that returns a negative test result for the COVID-19 virus, they'll be sent home to complete the further 14-day quarantine period. For positives, they'll be transferred to a government state quarantine facility. So that's over a 48 to 72 hour period. They will see disembarkment of groups of 200 from the Adventures of the Seas. Testing for the novel coronavirus will be done. Their quarantine period of 14 days will be seen as started the day they disembark the vessel. They'll be sent to the Grand Bahia Principe while their test results are being produced. Once a negative test result is returned, they'll be allowed to go home to self-quarantine for the remaining time frame of their 14-day quarantine period. if they receive a positive test result for the coronavirus COVID-19 as it's referred to, then they'll be sent to a state quarantine facility. So that's the agreement. The wonderful thing about it though is that they are no longer drifting on the high seas. They are in port, they have docked, they are tied up on the Falmouth cruise pier, owned and run by the Royal Caribbean Cruise Limited. And again, I just want to say, for anyone who's on the ship, and you can get this message to the captain of this cruise ship, sir, we salute you. We are grateful for you and how you handled this situation for over 8 weeks, carrying our citizens around the Caribbean Sea. We thank you, we applaud you, and we honor you in the way that you acted as a professional citizen of the Jamaica land we love. Thank you, sir. Our hats off to you. Brother Corey Hutchinson, nephew Michael Jackson, and community members, Susan Hutchison, and the rest of Jamaica would like to say welcome home to you. Tamisha McLaren, that definitely would be wonderful if that is the case, and we too would have welcomed that being the case. We are happy. We look forward to hearing more about that and press releases from the government to confirm such. Welcome home, Colin Davis. Pia Johnson is happy that you're here. Sandra Martin says, big up yourself, Captain. Definitely. Welcome home, Law Roberts. Character Pointed Right says, welcome home. That would be wonderful. That definitely would be wonderful, Shireen. He definitely deserves the best Jamaican meal we can get to him. If you see waves going through the video, that's because someone is trying to contact me right now. Unfortunately, I'm unable to answer the call at this moment. So just bear with me. You can send me a quick text message. I might be able to read that. But definitely just want to say again to everyone aboard the Adventures of the Seas that's finally tied up in the Falmouth Cruise Pier, welcome home. Well, Grace Brian, we definitely are hoping that you two will be brought home soon, as you said. Please ensure that you have done the necessary things by filling out the repatriation form that's available on the government's website, jamcovid19.moh.gov/immigration. Again, for those overseas who are wishing to enter into the country, the first step in doing so is to complete your repatriation request. It is available at the website address JAM, that's capital JAM, COVID-19, COVID-19.moh.gov.jm/immigration. That's where you'll be able to find your repatriation form requesting re-entry into the country. That's the first step that needs to be completed. So please, if you are a Jamaican stuck overseas, whether on the high seas or on land, and you'd like to return home, please visit that website to complete your repatriation form and await your approval so you can make the necessary travel arrangements to come home. So guys, given the current situation, I've been here since minutes after 10. As is expected, my battery is going low, but I would still like to bring you some live coverage even following this. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be cutting the live feed. I'm going to be cutting the live feed just for now. I'll try to get some additional information, and as soon as I can, then we will definitely rejoin you here as we continue to highlight the return of 1,044 for Jamaican citizens aboard the Adventure of the Seas, which we can finally say has hit the home base and is docked in the Falmouth Cruise Pier as we speak. We have the return of 1,044 citizens. They're at Gate 5 because the opposition spokesperson on tourism, Wickham McNeil, opposition spokesperson on national security, Fitz Jackson, and the member of parliament are at that location. So they have moved around to that location. All right. Be safe. Definitely. All right. Alright guys, so again, so everyone aboard the Adventures of the Seas, we say welcome home until we rejoin you live from right here in Falmouth, Jamaica, just outside the Falmouth Historic Cruise Pier. I say be safe. Remember, out of many, we are one Jamaicans. Welcome home, my brothers and sisters. Welcome home.